Trippy Barber, what's that?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit about my personality mainly. I like to consider my mind's kind of trippy in a way. I like drawing a lot. So I'm the kind of person that doesn't really express the way they feel by talking. I've always done it by drawing.
So it's perfect that we're doing a podcast where we're talking for an hour. This is perfect.
Something different, right? Something different.
Usually, when I'm trying to like make it short and sweet, I just tell them it's because I trip people out with my skills.
Oh, I like it. And so you said you're a drawer, an artist.
Yeah.
Is this your art?
Yeah, that is my art right there.
Wow. And are you selling that?
I do have some for sale, hopefully in December. So I'm trying to get some before Christmas, but I do sell the t-shirts.
I was actually trying to get us a couple shirts to wear for today, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sold out." But it just shows that they're sold out. So hey, it's good. It's good stuff, right? So that's what I'm saying.
And for the listeners, what we're talking about, anybody who is listening to us right now, we're on Spotify, we're on TuneIn, and we're getting the podcast out there one by one. YouTube. We're trying to get on iTunes, all that fun stuff. Yes, we're already on. We're talking about a shirt. There's a T-shirt with it looks like a zombie. You might have to explain. She's like a zombie chick with red hair. She's got the barber. What do you call it? The
clippers.
Clippers. Yes. Yeah.
So it's just it's me, obviously, red hair, and it's just a clipper coming out of the mouth because I don't know. It's just something I came up with. I feel like. My work speaks. So.
I love it. And, I did. So, in researching for this a little bit, I went to your Instagram page and I saw... In fact, I felt a little insecure coming in with my basic haircut. Like I won't tell you where I go.
Hair Masters. No offense to Hair Masters.
Whoa! Oh, shade! So much shade.
Hey, it's all love. I've gone there before, man. No shame.
Yeah. It wasn't Hair Masters, by the way.
Super clips. What do they call that?
Yeah, but that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference between a basic haircut and then someone who's coming in. Like if you go to your Instagram page is Trippy Barber, right?
Yes.
And you're seriously, it's crazy, and that's where it's awesome actually, because it seems like we're in this era now where a lot of people aren't afraid to be their own self now. Back in the day, remember, maybe you're too young to remember, but, it used to be everybody just had the same haircut. Everybody did the same thing.
Yeah.
But, and then all of a sudden the 90s came and Justin Timberlake came and people were like, oh, I want to dye my hair. Yeah. I want my hair to look like Top Ramen, and so everybody was doing the Top Ramen hair for a while. Yeah. But now we're in this new thing where now everybody's just kind of spread out. And then you guys, barbers, really have their own culture.
For sure.
And
really
just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up doing hair, watching my mom doing hair. So she's a cosmetologist. And then I started getting interested in hair when I was about 13. So that's when I began doing hair. But I started off doing women's hair and then got into men's hair once I turned 18. I didn't really know how big the barber industry was until about like 2 years ago. It's like... it's its own thing. Like it's its own culture, I believe.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot bigger than a lot of people could even imagine. Like all the opportunities that you have in the barber industry is insane. It's not just about cutting hair. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
What is it about?
Well, it's about networking. It's about, meeting people with different levels of skills. Like there's things that other barbers do that I could never do. Or not never do, but I could have never imagined myself doing something like that. There's, opportunities like, being sponsored. It's like a sport kind of, like they even have barber battles. Like I do a lot of those. So you get sponsored when companies see, your level of skill, who you are, and they hire you to like be the face of a brand, they hire you to go and teach classes in other states. You know, they pay for your flight, they pay for your hotel, they give you money on top of that. So like, you know, there's a lot of opportunity.
There was
sure.
one competition that you had done. I want to say it was recent, where you got number 2. You were just right there. Tell us about that.
That's a little tough one. I mean, that was in Vegas. So,
Woo, Sin City.
Yeah.
a lot of people from around the U.S. go and compete to this Vegas barber battle. I competed in the lady battle category.
Yes. Yep.
It was against 30 other lady barbers.
Across the United States.
Yep, across the U.S.
That's so awesome, though, man. Dude. Second place, though, that's a lot. That says a lot itself.
I mean, honestly, I didn't even think I was going to place.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
I went so unprepared. Like, I
Really?
was so
No kidding.
unprepared when I went. Like, there was a lot of things that I was missing. Like, as soon as I got on stage to, like, set up, I opened up my briefcase, and there was, like, a couple things that I needed to, like, cut hair. And I was already telling my husband, he was my model, I was like, let's just get off. Like, I don't even want to do this anymore.
Really?
I forgot all, like, this, and that. Like, I don't even have time to go look for someone to let me borrow something. Like, I was just already all negative. He's like, no, just do it. Like, stay up here. We're already here. Like, just go for it. And I was like, all right, you know, I'm just there cutting his hair. They gave us, like, 35 minutes to do a haircut, you know, best fade we could do.
Yeah.
And I did it despite, you know, missing certain things that I had to have to, you know, that I felt like I had to have apparently, because I ended up taking second.
Wow, congratulations.
So, yeah, congrats on that.
It was pretty tough for me, honestly. Like, as soon as I heard my name and they called me second, I was like, wait, what? Like, I played? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And that's also, I love your message there too, that, you know, you could have, maybe a lot of people would have quit in that, you know, because you're up there, you don't want to look like an idiot, you know, and sometimes it's better just to, you know, walk away, or it feels better to walk away than to humiliate yourself, and yet you still punch through that.
That shows a lot of character too, man. And you just always think to yourself, imagine if you were just focused, you had everything ready, like, no doubt you would have placed first. I would think so, man, because that just shows a lot. Like, the mentality wasn't there, and when your mind isn't there 100%.
Yep.
But she did a thing, and I just do it, and that's no. Congrats on that. That shows a lot for sure.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And so now we're at your shop, which is called the Maine
Barber Society.
Thank you. The Main. Yeah, I was going to say the Main Street, but
come on, Brett.
Yeah, suck. But anyway, yeah. So that's great, and we're here in Everett, Washington. Everett has grown over the past few years, so you're kind of riding right on the wave there. So good job on seizing that, and. Yeah, no, it's fun. Also, you as an entrepreneur, you're young. I mean, this is your own building, right?
Yeah. Well, not the building. It's just the business itself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The business is what I meant. But so when did you first start becoming your own boss?
Well, it was about like 3 years ago. So like 22. Yeah.
22.
So that was literally right after I got my barber's license. So for a little while, I was actually working unlicensed, which I shouldn't have been doing. But
You didn't hear that. We're going to crop that out.
but I mean,
But wait a minute. When you're working unlicensed, I mean, you're cutting hair, right?
Yeah.
So I would go to someone unlicensed to cut my hair. Like, hey, do you have any papers?
I mean,
I
like,
don't ever look for papers.
it's what the state requires, you know. So
Yeah, government.
right, trying to take our money. But yeah, so I was actually working at my mom's salon. She had a salon in Monroe. So I was working for her for a little while until she decided she didn't want to own the business anymore. And well, I didn't want to stay out there because I was like, how's the business going to grow out there? There's not really much out there.
Right.
So I went to school, got my license a year later, like when I was 21, and then got my license when I was 22, saved for about 6 months, and then here we are.
Just did it. That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, seriously, because there's a lot of people out there that when you look at school, you're going to school, there's a lot of people that I think school just teaches you how to be an employee. They don't teach you any entrepreneurial skills, you know. No. And so a lot of everything that you've learned as an entrepreneur, you've learned it on your own, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of crazy stuff that I've done that I just didn't know. Like the first year of my taxes, I was like, what am I doing?
That's the
I
one
walked
thing.
in and I was like, so what do I do? And they're like, what do you mean? You don't know what you got to do? I was like, no.
Okay.
Like, tell me.
That's great. So if somebody is looking at starting their own gig, maybe they're graduating from cosmetology school and they want to follow in your footsteps, what are some main things mistakes that you made? That if you could go back or kind of mentor somebody, what would you suggest? Taxes, obviously.
Definitely taxes. Looking into like payroll or, booth renters, like, or looking into, what was it?
The networking. I'm sure that's a huge part of it. Where, like you were talking about how, it seems like there's more camaraderie than competition, like friendly competition, right? But is there any type of like backstabbery that goes on?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of
so there's a lot of. So you could say it's fair to say there's a lot of just heavy competition, or is it like he was saying? Was it more friendly, or is it more like, hey, I'm going to see your clients and they're going to come to me?